It's so funny because if you look at my first real estate video, I shot it on my phone using the first DJI Osmo gimbal that existed. It was terrible, bro. It was terrible. The video was terrible. And when I look back at it, I still have it on YouTube. It's hilarious because it looks horrendous to me. But at the time, I was getting so much love, man. I was getting other listings from this video that I shot on my phone.
Happy to still have this opportunity. You know, this is an opportunity that we created. I mean, like, from a conversation, a straight conversation, and then we just kind of made it happen.
Yeah, man, that's typically how it's done, bro. You know.
Yeah, but it takes discipline, though.
Takes discipline, man. We're on episode 7. The podcast has existed for about 7 months, man. So, I mean, but now we're disciplined, bro. We're disciplined.
Yeah, but just by following through, that takes discipline. From step one. Okay, let's just talk about the discipline that it took. Conversation, right? Just a conversation.
This conversation, we had to go out. We had to get all the equipment.
No,
we had to figure out how to use it. Countless hours of YouTube videos to figure out how to use the equipment.
Yeah, you're the tech master. But okay, that's a part. Sit down, not be too critical on ourselves about how it's gonna go, and just try and I guess just try and go and see where it takes you. We weren't afraid of messing up, or we're not afraid of messing up, I should say. Even though we got OCD
and a little bit of perfectionism going on.
Yeah, so I think that
we may or may not have recorded a couple episodes that didn't make it out. Our first episode didn't make it out. We turned it into a couple shorts.
Yeah, but that's the growing pains, though.
Yeah.
The audio, you know.
We shot the whole thing. Afterwards, we weren't in focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. After we were just blurs. The mics were in focus, but we weren't.
And even just, not to go ahead to present, but even just like tonight, we're going to get B-roll while we set up.
Yeah.
And so it's like you got to create a system, and our system is getting created as we go.
Yep. I mean, the best teacher is just doing it. It's just doing it, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Like ready, shoot, aim, like backwards, you know, because, you know, that's the best way to learn is just to start doing something and then figuring out where your mistakes are and going back and correcting those mistakes. And I've been doing content for a lot of years just in real estate. I think I was one of the first people to come out with those real estate listing videos that you see in the area. I was one of the first people to start using professional photographer in the area because I was like, I'm going to step it up. Because back when I started 15 years ago, everybody was just doing pictures on their phones, or some people had cameras that they bought, little point and shoot cameras that they were using. And I started using professional photos because I was like, I got to step up my game. And then as soon as I started hearing, realtors are doing video, I was the first guy to go out there, buy a gimbal, start making little videos on my phones. You know, short format video didn't exist. I mean, Reels or Vine existed, but no one was using that for business. You know what I mean? But I was using, I was just doing little videos on my phone and posting them on Facebook. And then that turned into me doing videos, informational style videos at my house, 10-minute long videos on my phone. You know, those are super long compared to what I'm doing now, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But always learning with that too, man, because I put stuff out there. I don't like how I look. I don't like how I edited it. You know, I chop it up too much. So I'm standing there, and then the next clip, I'm like 2 feet over to the side, and then the next clip, I'm like over to this side. You know what I mean? So you see me bouncing back and forth on the screen and stuff like that. Like there's little things that over time you learn to perfect and learn how to, you know, work out those wrinkles. You know what I mean?
But why didn't you stop?
Why didn't I stop? Mm-hmm. Well, for one, I knew that it was something that was going to benefit me in the long haul. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For two, I can't think of anything I've ever quit on, to be honest with you, man. But now that, being in the real estate business, there's a ton of people doing video. There's a ton of people doing video. Everybody's doing video. A lot of people are doing the same type of video, same type of information. And I still think because I started so many years before them, now I'm years ahead of them when it comes to the process of creating it, my efficiency, the quality at the end of it. And sometimes it doesn't translate to more views. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it might impress a client. Recently I made a video for a builder and the dude is blown away. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not a videographer or anything like that, but when you're able to do those sorts of things yourself too, like for instance, we're in a bind. We have to, Jamal and I had we met with the builder. Builder wanted a video of the listing. We have an opportunity now. Okay, do we call a videographer, try to set this thing up 2 weeks from now? Plan it all out, do it that way, or do we just go home, take out a piece of paper, figure out our script, go back to the property the next day, shoot a video, edit it quick, and we're able to turn it around 2 or 3 days later. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's just through experience doing so many of them throughout the years.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can attest to the same thing in like cutting hair. Like starting at the age of 11, I got a chance to really tune in on the whole skill set of cutting hair. So it's not just the hair textures that you're cutting or the people that you're cutting. It's more of like setting the appointments, customer service, getting to know people. And I couldn't tell you not one client's phone number right now. Back in the day, I never wrote the names down, but I worked on remembering, people's phone numbers and staying in contact with people. So now translate today, you got email lists. So I've been working on my email list a lot. And I had to start doing the lighting in the videos myself too, because I started seeing reels come out. So I had to really adapt to the times. And so that's when I got on Instagram and opened up Neighbors Cut. And I just figured like I had to do some things, but not to the point to where I want to look like everybody else. I want to have originality. And so I just got the information from my daughter about how to do reels. She showed me a little bit, and then I just start going away. And now people, they like the reels, but I'm always seeing that I could do better. So having to adapt and go with reels and have an online booking system, to now I don't even talk to them on the phone. In some ways, like it's made my job easier, even though I was used to doing it for so long. So that discipline kind of led me to not needing it anymore, if that makes sense. Like I did it so long, it's like, oh, here's a load off. And so here we go with creating the reels. And
what do you think about reels right now? Do you think your reels are performing right now as good or better than they used to, or are they performing worse? Because for me, I did a lot of reels probably about 12 months ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing a lot of reels right now. And I feel like some of them will pop off, but I feel like 12 months ago they were hitting a lot more frequently. I felt like.
Yeah, and I was told to get on TikTok too. So
yeah, I got TikTok too, man. But I had to get the crash course from my daughter on TikTok. But for me, the reels, like last year, I would post a reel, go do something for 20 minutes, come back and see 5,000 views or something. For 10, 20 minutes later. Now, to get it to 5,000, it takes a week. You know what I mean? And that initial like blast isn't as powerful, and I think it might be because so many people are doing the same thing, which is again another reason to try to set yourself apart. That being said, too, I think the algorithm of TikTok and Instagram might be giving value to people who use their system to create it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you create your reels inside of Instagram, whereas I usually create my reels outside of Instagram and then upload them to Instagram, right? So I think you might be getting algorithmic points just from using their product to create it. You know what I mean?
I don't even think my reels, they perform that well. I'm working on more like you were saying, like the quality. Like I need the music to hit with the next scene, the bass line. And so I've been working on all that and trying to get the eyes to move up and down and in and out. So I think there's more to do with reels than, people, I guess, what's the new thing? Short reels, like 10, 12 seconds or something like that. That's the newest thing, because people's attention span ain't that long. So they want you.
It's true, man. They're getting shorter and shorter.
They're getting shorter and shorter. And so mine's, I feel like I'm trying to shoot a short film. So I'm working on more than just a 12-second, a 5-second. I mean, I can do those, but when I got introduced to reels, I was going in for I'm using up the whole time, the whole minute. So,
oh, for real? Oh, you were?
Yeah, I'm using up everything.
I think I've always shot for 30 seconds on a reel, but I never hit it. I usually hit it like a little bit more. If you go on there, my shorter ones are like 25 seconds, but a lot of times I'm hitting a minute when I'm shooting for 30 seconds. I just cannot physically get what I'm trying to say out of my mouth quick enough, man. And when I try to talk faster, then people are like, oh, dude, you were talking too fast. Or, I created my last, so I batch record everything. So I created my last like 11 reels at the same time.
I just created 3 the other night. Actually, no, I created 4, but I'm going to drop them. See, my reels, I get a chance to, you do real estate. So you're doing houses, right?
Yep.
And you're doing, you got to, I guess, the outside, the inside.
Sometimes I do like stores or restaurants or whatever up the street.
Oh, yeah. So you're selling everything. So mine's is like, I can do it from the class perspective, the kidney perspective, the ADC, JDC. So I got a lot of stuff to work with. A lot of different, I guess, genres, which is kind of good. So
for me, I do got my real estate training YouTube channel, and I get a little weird about posting stuff from that on my actual real estate, like my real estate Instagram, because it's geared towards agents. But the funny thing is probably half the people that follow me on Instagram are real estate agents. So when I do post stuff, like I just posted some stuff the other day for the first time from my training YouTube. Mm-hmm. Because I knew that I have so many agents following me, I think it was something that could benefit them. But it's kind of weird trying to commingle. Like my Instagram is, predominantly me marketing my business to potential clients, putting my face out there, just kind of building social proof. And then all of a sudden I throw in a video where I'm talking to agents directly about something that will help their business. And I do that. I don't get no benefit from doing that. It's just something I enjoy doing, you know what I mean? But it's just a second avenue, something else I can post, you know what I mean?
But I think that's good that we don't have a lack of topics or lack of areas to do it in, because if you really think about it, you can get creative. If one doesn't know how to get creative, you can get creative with so many different things. Like you can go in and like highlight the countertops. You don't got to do the whole room, but not a countertop is a selling point. And I can go in and highlight maybe a hair design or something, So I think when people are looking to start like creating content, I think they can use anything, but I think we overthink it. And then if you start small, you can slowly build on that. Like we just go from making videos to add music in the right spots and getting the cut, and like the one you just made, Yeah.
So the thing is too about that is I realized that there is a benefit to using the music, like, the sounds that are inside the app.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've been doing is I've been just going into like a sound, find a nice sound that has got a ton of views, or a ton of listens, or has been used in a bunch of reels, right? Because if you think about it, I mean, you have basically a list of songs, and you can tell what the people like. You know what I mean? It says it right on
It comes
there.
right up.
Yeah, because some of them is like, oh, it's been using 300 reels, and then you got other ones that was like, this has been using 90,000 reels. You know what I mean? So you select one that you think is going to work. So like today it was a just sold post. So what I did was, as I went in, like I was creating a reel, I add the sound, and then I just screen record it. Mm-hmm. And so I got that way I can screen record the sound. I can export it and I'll just go ahead and take that screen recording. I'll airdrop it to my computer, and then I'll edit the whole video to the sound, right? And then I could put the video, export the video without the sound, and add the sound back in when I get it back in Instagram. That way it all lines up. You know what I mean? And so, and then occasionally, like if for whatever reason it's not lining up, I still have that screen recorded version of the song, and the quality isn't. It's like 95% of as good as the actual song from Instagram. So then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and upload the reel with the screen recorded sound, and then I'll add the sound back in on the reel, but I'll put the sound level at 1%, because that way you can't hear it, but you can still see it. So it still helps algorithmically, right? Because you still have that actual like trending audio in there.
You just taught me something.
You know what I mean? So that I mean, for me, that's how I've been able to use the trending audio, because a lot of the reels that I create, I just use royalty-free music. You know what I mean? But those aren't going to perform as well as the trending audio that's already in there. And then I guess the second thing that I realize about creating the reels is sometimes you'll do something or say something that is funny, but it ain't funny enough to keep in the video. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to cut it. Yeah. So sometimes I catch myself cutting stuff out that I wish I could keep, because I'm like, that's so funny to me. You know what I mean? But it's like the buildup is too long. Yeah. And so I'm like, I gotta cut out parts that, I liked it at the time that I recorded it, but I'm like, I gotta get rid of it because it's making the reel too long.
That's like when I edit a hair video. I try to record for about 5 to 10 seconds. That way I can pull in the corners, or I can take out of the middle. But I got so much leftover stuff that I need to do something with, So each video I'll record it. Like if I'm cutting the head, I'll record it, stop it, do a different service, stop it, and just I'll grab them together, and then usually I'll go into Instagram and get the music, and sometimes it lines up just right, and then sometimes I'll look at the video and I'll think of some old songs that'll go with kind of the setting of the video and the hairstyle that I'm doing, or whatever it is that I'm working on. And I don't know if a lot of people, the younger kids know what the sound is, but our generation knows what that sound is of that song. So I actually can say I came a long way with them reels, though.
I mean, and you can always pick a song or whatever, do something funny, and then that becomes trending. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could always hit with that.
Yeah.
And so, for me, do you feel that you use all your short form content on all the platforms, YouTube Shorts, Reels, TikTok, or do you? Because I know that one thing that TikTok doesn't like and that Reels doesn't like is they don't like when you post the one directly from Reels to TikTok and vice versa.
Okay.
Right, because they don't like the watermark from the other competing brand.
Yeah, and I seen that Instagram start putting the watermark on there, because I was taking mine from Instagram to LinkedIn to Facebook to Twitter, and then they put that watermark on. I'm still putting it on there, so to me it don't matter. I mean, I'm not to the point where I'm perfecting audio and editing like you. You got it down to.
So the life hack for that.
See,
the life hack for that I found early on was just create the reel,
save it,
create the reel, yeah, and then you can just basically take the draft, and you can screen record the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because or else, if you export it out of Instagram, it comes with no audio.
True.
Comes with no audio because they don't want you to use that.
Some of the songs that I go back and do,
you just put it back in on TikTok.
I'll put them back in on. I'm not on TikTok. I mean, I'm on TikTok, but I haven't been posting on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
I just put it back in through Facebook, and then some of them they save. Not all of them save, because you'll have to download them without the song, and so. Well,
Reels and Facebook, I mean, you can post them to both of those. They're both the same company, so that doesn't matter. But if you're going from like Reels to TikTok, and you create it inside of Reels, just screen record it on the draft, play it, then throw it into TikTok and without the watermark, right?
And throw it into LinkedIn with the music, because you can't add music in LinkedIn. So I have to screen record it I'll have to screen record the original before I post it, right?
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Okay. First,
Life hack. There's 2 life hacks that we gave.
I got to get a new phone.
He does need it. He does need it.
He's like, should I go in on him? Should I not?
Hey man, you see that phone right there in front of Rob? I mean, you know what I think you need to do to him, man?
Kill him. He got me with my own soundbite. What should I do with my own phone? Kill him.
Rob's got like 2 gigabytes on his phone left.
Man, I'll be working, man. I'll be working.
So have you delved into YouTube Shorts a lot? I mean, I know that on our YouTube channel we do a lot of YouTube Shorts, and you know what I'm seeing is that sometimes they just hit, man. YouTube Shorts are almost like what Reels were last year. Like I feel like like we posted a short a couple days ago and it popped off like right away with like a couple thousand views in the first like 20 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like you kind of seem like you get lucky on YouTube. And from what I understand is, and I'm not positive, I don't work at Google here, but from what I understand is they kind of have it separated. The long format, the short format are kind of separated. And, you know, you have the tab for the shorts and the tab for the videos are separate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like, you know, sometimes we'll put out like a long video. I do this too on my real estate training channel, put out like a 12-minute video, 15-minute video, and then I'll put out like a 30-second short as like an advertisement for the video, and then the short ends up getting more views than the actual video gets.
I just started posting to my YouTube. And that's because of you.
Hey man, if we're gonna create it, man, we might as well throw it out there.
Yeah.
We might as well throw it out there.
I got 8 followers on my YouTube channel. And I'm fine with I'm
Come
fine.
on, man. Don't put that on the podcast, man.
I got 8 followers, man. I mean,
that's good though, man. You put 8 people around this table, this table's gonna look real small real quick, man. So yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the process of growing.
I think we're gonna put the link to Rob's YouTube channel in the description, man, for y'all to go follow him over there.
I'm fine with the process of growing. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, man. And really, I mean, we always talk about consistency. It's like this is episode 7 of the podcast, man. Yeah. It's like we plan on putting out hundreds of thousands of these, man. So it's like it's all about growing. At the time of this podcast, might not have that many followers. We won't reference our followers because who knows, man? We might have 100K by the time somebody actually watches this one, man. Or somebody actually listens to this one. We don't know, you know, because we definitely got some people downloading it on Apple.
Buzzsprout.
Well, they downloaded off Apple Podcasts. They downloaded off Amazon Music, Google Podcasts. Spotify is probably the number one spot to get it. Really, anywhere where you can get podcasts or where most people get podcasts, that's where our podcast is. But yeah, we do use Buzzsprout to host our podcast. All right, man. So, do we have any more life hacks as it pertains? Because I do have a couple life hacks as it pertains to creating these reels, man.
You keep a boatload of life hacks.
Well, I mentioned it earlier that I batch record my reels, right? So I mean, we all have there's different types of reels. Some of us are making them just for fun and games. I typically make all mine for business. That's just what it's about for me.
Yeah.
And of course, we have all the different types of reels. We got people trying to be funny on there. We got people trying to be funny that ain't funny on there. For me in real estate, I have the occasional funny reel. I have the reels that pertain to my listings, you know, the property walkthroughs, things like that. And then I have what I like to say, you know, I like to consider myself a knowledgeable person as it pertains to real estate. So I like to be looked at as a knowledge broker. So I have my educational reels, right? Mm-hmm. You know, reels have to be funny, or they have to be entertaining, or they have to be educational, right?
Yeah.
They don't have any of them. If they don't have any of that stuff, ain't nobody gonna watch it, man, right? So for me, I like to batch record. So what I typically will do is I will come up with some topics. So I usually come up with a list of topics. So if you were to go into my Notion right now, you'd see that I had a topic. I'd probably have 20 topics for my reels, right? Mm-hmm. And so in real estate, you have, you know, home inspections, and you have, you know, final walkthroughs, you have your purchase agreement, you have different scenarios that come up, whatever. You know, financing, different types of loans. You know, what do these different terms mean, right? And so I'll come up with the topics, and then what I'll do is I'll just put it away. I'll put my my notional way. Because what I do sometimes when I'm coming up with topics, I'm searching other real estate agents' pages from like out of state and stuff like that, right? So what I like to do is I'm like, oh, I like that topic. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to remember their video because I don't want to even say anything close to what they said, right? I don't want to use my own brain to come up with my content, right? So I'll just take their topic idea and I'll just write it down. So like I said, I probably got 20 of them right now on this iPad. I'll then just put it away for a few days. Then I'll pick a day where I have some time. I'll pull out the topic list and then I'll start writing scripts. So I'll write like 20, 30 second scripts for all of my topics. So then what I do is I copy and paste that into a teleprompter software, right? I use Prompt Plus. So I'll copy and paste that into the Prompt Plus software, and the Prompt Plus software is here on my iPad. What I'll do is I'll attach my teleprompter to my camera. I'll fire up both cameras. I have 2 cameras here, and then I'll use my phone. I'll get into Prompt Plus and I'll use that as my remote control, right? Then I'll sit down, turn on the audio on both of the cameras. Turn on the audio on the mic, turn on both of the cameras, and then I'll just shoot all the reels. So if I'm going to do 10 that day, I'll just sit here and do all 10 at one time, right? Sometimes, occasionally, I'll switch like shirts or something like that to make it look like it's a different day. It doesn't matter. I don't turn off the cameras. I keep them going. Then I'll take all the footage and the audio, I'll move it into my editing software, and I'll separate the video. So if I did 10, I'll cut it into 10 clips. I'll then save it, get out of it. I'll take that project, and I'll duplicate it 10 times. So now I got 10 different projects. So then it's as simple as just going into each one and just deleting the 9 I'm not doing, editing the 1. It takes just real quick. Then I'll save it, go to the next one. I'll delete the 9 that I'm not doing, edit the next one, right? So now I got all of them, and they're all done. I can export all of them at the same time, hit export. And then it's just as simple as running it through captions, and I use captions to create all my captions. Then I can just, some people would like schedule these inside of Reels.
Yeah.
For me, I like to just post them in there as drafts. So if I just did 10, I'll wait till it's late night or whatever, and I'll just upload them all into my Instagram. I'll create captions for all of them. I'll set all the thumbnails for all of them, put the emojis, everything in there. And then whenever I want to post one, I just go in and just hit post. So I'll just have my camera, I'll have my phone reminders say at like a certain time, like 11 or 12 or 1 or whatever time I decide is best for that day. It'll just say post or reel. And so no matter what I'm doing, I could be out there showing houses. I could be out there doing whatever I'm doing. I get the notification, post a reel. I just hit post, and then it goes on Instagram and it goes on Facebook. And then I'll usually get TikTok whenever I got time at that point.
So I'm heading in that direction. I got email blast every month on my calendar. And then the other night I made 3 reels, but three or 4, I think. But I haven't scheduled them. There are drafts, and by hearing you say that is going to motivate me to go ahead and do all the ones that I haven't done yet. Because I start taking photos of haircuts, and next thing you know, I'm a week in, and I'm doing yesterday's reel, but I had 3 or 4 other things that I could have made a reel out of. So I'll take the pictures of the people and then I'll send it to them.
See, if you're creating a reel for a business, I tell agents this all the time. It's impossible to run a social media marketing company at the same time as you operate your business. Like, you have to figure out a way to just be more efficient with it.
Scheduling them.
So you have to batch record. I don't even think it's possible to put out 3 to 5 a week. Because in my business, the recommended from real estate from one of the top real estate coaches in the world in real estate, he says to put out for him, he says, put out like a picture, like a static piece, right?
Yeah.
And he says, put out, a long format video, a short format video, and then 2 more images. So it doesn't matter. And so it's like basically 5. So it could be like a static piece, like a graph or something like that. 2 images, a long format, and a short format. I disagree with that because I feel like Reels actually, from an algorithmic standpoint, are actually a lot better. I will say that pictures are picking up, and I know that Instagram actually just came out and said that they're going to pay more attention to pictures again.
Because they stopped.
Correct, because they
Everything
stopped. And I posted a picture the other day, just like it just sold, and that got a ton of interaction, stuff like that. So maybe that's already happening. I don't know. But for me, it's like I want to try to do 3 to 5 reels. But then on top of all the stuff I just mentioned, you're also supposed to keep a story going at all times, right? So to keep a story going at all times, you need to do a minimum of 8 in a week, right? Or else it's just gonna fizzle off. But I think most people do like that in a day, right?
You need actual stories on your feed?
Actual stories like inside of Instagram, and then sync it to Facebook. So there should never be a time when you don't have a story going, right? You keep stories going for a long time, and then maybe you take like a 1-day break. Just because if you take that 1-day break, it kind of resets.
I was gonna say, do you ever feel like you need to take a break? Do you ever like give yourself like, okay, I'm not doing nothing today?
I always feel like that when it comes to social media because it's like a full-time job, man. But the reason why you take the break with the stories is because, as you know, when you look at your views on your stories, the first one usually has a ton of views. And as it goes on, it just keeps going down, 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 right? Yep. So if you keep on adding new and valuable stuff to your stories, it just keeps on tagging on to the end, right? It's going to have less views. So occasionally you want to take like a day off just so it runs out. So when you finally upload a story, you end up popping up right at the front of the person's stories again, right? And you'll actually get more people to watch it. And so for me, if I'm going to do a story, a lot of times I like to include links and stuff like that.
I'm heavy on that right now.
Yeah.
I link our podcast. I link the website. You know, I link all that, the book, all the links. And somebody had told me, actually the owner of House of Handsome, she had told me about the reels and she told me about the links. Because, I'm just going on there, just posting. And then it got to the point of like, okay, I got to get more strategic. So, you got to spoon feed people. You got to hold their hand and show them like, okay, you got to guide them I got to guide you to the website. Instead of me posting the website, I got to put a link there so you can actually click, because you getting off your phone typing in the website. I mean, what are the odds of that? So
nobody's going to do it. It's like there's been times where I put QR codes on the screen. I'm like, if they're watching this on their phone, they got no way of generating the QR code on the thing.
That's why I put QR codes on my posts, because some people probably on their laptops.
Yeah, definitely.
And on some of my reels, because I'm putting it in different platforms, and so I think you're on the tablet, you're watching it, you still got your phone here, So I think like that, but I was like, yeah, they are on their phone, so they might not. But man, put it on there anyway. You never know.
You never know what's gonna happen, man.
You never know.
Maybe to say, hey, baby, come over here and get this QR code. I want this app that this guy is giving me the link for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, hey, baby, yeah. Like, hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Exactly. Yeah. Or it's the other way around, and she wants the app, and you know what he's gonna say then, right? He's gonna be all jealous, and he's gonna be like, "Kill him." Yeah, he's gonna take one look at the biceps and be like, "Kill him."
I've had people say that, man. I told my girl she better not be following you. It's like, wow. It's like, it is not that type of party. That's crazy.
So, I mean, if you're a business owner on social media, man, you cannot go one for one. I'm going to create a reel today. That cannot be on your to-do list every single day, man. And you won't get nothing done. You will not be productive at your actual job, your actual business. It's important to schedule it. It's important to plan it. As it pertains to YouTube Shorts, TikTok, all that stuff. Stories are a little bit more like fly-by-night type of, you know what I mean?
But I can get a reel done super fast now.
Yeah, no, you're a pro, man.
I can get... I mean, I worked on it though. I mean, I can go in because, okay, I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they think that somebody's going to know that it's messed up. The only person that's going to know that you didn't edit it, or this didn't drop, the beat didn't drop, or, you didn't put the right song, or whatever it is, you didn't put your link at your website at the end, or your logo. Nobody knows that but you. So,
one thing that's funny is that before they started letting you post reels from Instagram to Facebook, I was posting reels on Instagram, and then it's taking the video and posting it on Facebook. Then what I would do is I'd create an ad for the video and have the ad only place in Reels. Does that make sense? So now you can do ads in Reels. Now you can boost in Reels, right? But back then you couldn't. So I would just take the video. I'd post it on Facebook. So now I just have a video on Facebook. And then I would have ad placement that went directly to Reels. So that way, that way people would see it more often, right? They just keep seeing it, right? But it wasn't adding to my Reels views. It was adding to the views on the ad.
So were the Reels views getting up there though?
The Reels views would get up there organically, right?
Okay.
But then the ad itself was just views were going towards the ad. But then what I realized is that there was a couple of times, and this is before I realized that they cut the audio, right? There'd be a couple of times where I create a reel and I'm talking and I got the music going and then I export it out of Reels.
Yeah.
And when I upload it to Facebook, there's no audio. It's just me in dead silence moving my mouth at the camera.
From the teleprompter?
Yeah. And nobody said anything to me, man. So it's all part of your point.
So you got no music?
I got no music and no audio at all. It's just me moving my mouth with nothing. It's just, you can see captions. So maybe some people were just like, oh, my phone is broken or something. They just read the captions or whatever. But like you said, stuff like that goes down and people don't even care. Like everyone thinks that people care about their situation. But the truth is that that's usually not the case, man.
No, we all overthink. And what I did not know is that, I don't know how true it is, but my wife does it all the time. They say it's like 70% of the people don't even listen to the audio on the Reels.
Yeah, that's the reason why the captions are so important.
Yeah.
The captions are super important. When I used to create this little captions, and in some of our Reels, I do create the captions myself. So I rarely will use the like built-in captions that are inside of Reels now because I want to put it everywhere, and it's easier for me just to do it and bake it in and then put it on all the different platforms. But I started using the captions app now because it uses AI to actually create like emojis and everything else now. And so for me, it's like that's just the easy way to do it is pay $50 a year for captions app and just create the captions on there, man.
Well, I can honestly say that I am getting better at all of it, even though I do need to upgrade my equipment. And once I upgrade my equipment, I'll feel a lot more comfortable around you as far as your technology.
But by upgrade your equipment, you mean you need a new phone, man, because that thing has like a gig and a half on it, man. Every time I see Rob, he's deleting pictures just so he can record more like videos and pictures on his phone.
You just said 2 gigs about 10 minutes ago.
I know, but now you probably only got a gig now, man.
I got 2 text messages.
Yeah, he had a couple of text messages, man, and now he only has a gig.
But once I get new equipment, I'll feel more inclined and more not up to your speed, but I'll be able to get closer to what you do, and then the workload won't be as much.
I mean, it's
not. Well, I know you don't, but I want to learn it to. You know what I'm saying? So if you say Corey,
it's all a build-up, man. It's so funny because if you look at my first real estate video, I shot it on my phone using the first DJI Osmo gimbal that existed.
Yeah.
And my 2-year-old son was walking around behind me, just barely. I was like barely not getting them in each one of the shots. It was terrible, bro. It was terrible. The video was terrible, and when I look back at it, I still have it on YouTube. It's hilarious because it looks horrendous to me. But at the time, I was getting so much love, man. I was getting other listings from this video that I shot on my phone. I shot it all. I didn't know what I was doing. I brought it into editing software. I was on YouTube trying to figure out how to edit it, chop it up, and add music to it, and all this stuff. Obviously, before Instagram Reels existed. And man, it's terrible. It's terrible, man. But for as far as like the type of compliments I was getting at the time, it's still better than some of the stuff I see now. But it really wasn't that good, man. So it's just all about just like we said at the beginning of this, just doing it, and over time you'll just start to become comfortable. You start to figure out what works and doesn't work. Just like our first podcast, we weren't in focus, right?
Yeah.
And I hope we're in focus right now. And so. You learn, man.
But I just want to get better.
Yeah.
I know if I had the right equipment, I'll be that much better.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get better with the equipment you have, then just think of how much better you'll be when you do get the right equipment, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So if you can get better with worse equipment, as I tell my son that all the time, he's like, "Man, I need a new football." I'm like, "If you can catch that slick football, you can catch anything."
If I can run a phone down to a gig, I'm ready.
You got like 2 megabytes on that thing right now, man.
So I'm ready to upgrade then. See?
Yeah,
I got good with what I had. That's the
Definitely,
point. That's the whole point of the podcast. Be good with what you got.
yeah.
Make sure that you be good with what you got and work it to the fullest. And when you need to upgrade. But learn as you go. You got to start. So start where you at.
That's good advice, Rob.
Corey, where can they find you at?
They can find me at the Corey Melvo, which is my real estate Instagram. How about you, Rob?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Robert Neighbors, and then on Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram, Neighbors Cut. And as of today, we are almost a month and a half before the book, The Story of Robert Neighbors, is released on March 13th. So you can go pre-order it at neighborscut.com. Go ahead and read the blurb, check it out, see what it's about. It's a very interesting book. So feel free to go over to neighborscut.com. Till next time, peace.
Watch me educate. Yeah, we been coulda started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate.